everyone, we have a very pretty looking picture for our Christmas countdown today. We have our candy cane with a ribbon and we have the mistletoe. Now we're going to do the mistletoe first. I want to talk to you a little bit about mistletoe because I don't know if everybody knows much about it. It's quite a pale, well, there are mainly two different colours of mistletoe that I see. I mean colours, there is always green, but sometimes it's quite pale, so I'm going to use this May green and I'm just going to start colouring all of it in this colour. Now mistletoe is something that I know not everybody knows about. In the UK it's very common, but I don't know if you get it in other countries. It is an invasive plant. Basically these berries, they are cream coloured, and birds eat them, but they're very sticky, and so birds will wipe their beak off on the branch of a tree, and the seeds that are inside the berry come out off the edge of their beaks onto the tree. They embed themselves into the tree and the mistletoe then grows on the tree. So it's quite difficult to pick mistletoe a lot of the time because it's very high up in trees, but it grows in a big clump. It almost looks like a bird's nest, a big clump of mistletoe. And it's traditionally sold around Christmas time to use as part of your decorations. But mistletoe is, we're often told to kiss under the mistletoe. You may have heard this. Now, I don't know where that comes from. I want to do a little bit of shading on my mistletoe. I'm going to use the olive green yellowish just to add a few darker areas, perhaps here where the berries are. So yes, kissing under mistletoe is a thing. Some people believe that when you kiss under it you need to remove a berry, and other people don't do that. Obviously the berries are quite pretty, so if you remove a berry every time someone comes to your house and kisses under it, then you've got none left. The berries are poisonous to people and animals, so it's actually fairly rare to see it. My grandfather used to always have it in his house. I'm going to go back to the May green and I'm just going to go over all of the leaves again, over the top of that darker area. I just want them to look a little bit more vibrant. Yes, so my grandfather used to have it by his front door. I remember they used to tie a bit of string around and hang it up. But whether they had it in their garden, I do not know. I was too little. My son's just sent me something really confusing. Hang on a minute. Right, sorry, I am back. He sent me something quite funny, actually. It wasn't relevant, but anyway. Yes, so mistletoe. Yes, so not many people have it because of it being poisonous, but it is sort of, I think it's an old English thing from the days of yore, before even Christianity, I think, but a lot of our Christmas traditions can be. I'm feeling that that is a little bit dull. It looks quite dull on camera compared to my eye anyway, but I'm going to grab this cadmium yellow lemon and I'm just going to give it a good sharpen and then go over the each of the leaves, particularly towards the tip, to just brighten up a little bit. I don't know how much it will show up. But yes, the berries are cream, they're very almost white, so that gives me a challenge in colouring them, but I'm going to give it a go. I think it might be more of an ivory rather than a cream colour. So I'm going to grab the ivory. Oh, and then promptly drop it. Oh, here we go. Ivory. It's not a colour I use very often, especially on the white paper. But we're going to do a background, so it won't be completely. It will show up more. We've also got white on our candy cane to do There we go. Now you could do some shadow between them a little bit. It's quite a small space. I'm thinking maybe just a little touch of warm grey 2. I'm just sharpening. There we go, warm grey 2. And I'm thinking just where they overlap, might just create a bit of shadow. And you know me, I like to try and make them look a bit spherical, but they're quite small. So I'm just going to add in that bit of shadow and leave it there really. I'm not sure what colour to do our ribbon on our candy cane, so I'm going to leave that and actually do the candy cane. Now, I usually do them red and white. I think that's quite the traditional colour. But I was wondering whether to do it more of a pinky red rather than an orangey red. We did red yesterday on our holly berries. So I'm thinking if I could do the alizarin crimson, then it's a little bit pinker. Now, I also don't know whether there is the end always white or always red, or is it random? I've got no idea. I think I'm going to leave the end white. I just have this feeling in my head that that's the right way, but I don't know for sure. And what you do with your candy cane is you make the colour darker here by layering it and then less towards the middle. And you do the same thing here, and you think about where you want your light to be throughout the candy cane. I'm thinking somewhere near the middle might help it look more rounded, and you know, it's not flat. And so we try and follow that through, remembering to leave our gap for our white one, leaving a little space in the middle. Now this one's a bit tricky, so I don't necessarily want it completely white, but I want it to look like there's some shine. Usually these are highly shiny because they're sort of boiled sweet, aren't they? Revolting things. I'm sorry, I'm so controversial. I don't like them. I don't eat a lot of sweet stuff anyway, but if they were just mint, like Seaside Rock, which if you're not from the UK you won't know what on earth I'm on about, if they were just mint then I would probably like them, but they're not. There's another taste in them sometimes that I'm not a fan of. Now, Coal Grey 2, I'm going to use this on the white to give it some shadow on the edges to emphasize the shine on the white bits. So I've messed it up. That should be red. Right. Do that bit red in there as if we've got a space. Whoops. I think that might be right actually, but maybe not. Oh well. I'm sure it'll all be fine. Yeah, these ones on the curve are a little tricky to know how to do that. I think that's near enough. I usually just join the bottom there. So it looks a little bit grey, but I think it helps us with that shine look. Now our background, I'm trying to think of what colour. We've done blue, pink, green and yellow already. We could go with a sort of purpley colour, but would it match? We could do red, but I don't think so. We could do a different shade of blue, like a turquoise, like a bright yellow. We could do all sorts of things. I'm going with the purple. I'm going to go with that and do my bow after. So I'm going to use my lightest. I'm going to do this, oh, that's my elbow, in the violet. And I'm going to do it in the way that I did the one above here, the robin, and just put the colour in first in a really gentle amount light just to see how it sits, and then I'll think about where to make it darker. I mean, what I have done in all of these so far is made it darker around the edge, and I probably stick with that now because I rather like it. But there's nothing to say that you can't make it darker around the item and lighter on the edge, you know. But I think having a lighter area around your items just gives them that, it helps to draw your eye into them. It almost makes them look maybe like they're glowing or something like that. So I'm just trying to be reasonably careful not to get it on the mistletoe berries, because obviously they're very pale. I'm trying to think about what colour to do my candy cane ribbon. If you have a larger candy cane that you're colouring, you could use several shades of red and grey. I would not just stick with one, but because this is quite a small space, it's quite difficult to fit in more than one colour. But I would definitely do more than one. Yeah, what my son sent me was a story that had been written by ChatGPT, and it was really, really funny. The spec was a bit ridiculous, to be fair. But it was quite funny. Basically, they're sort of taught that, you know, it might have potential, but unless you give it a very precise instruction, it doesn't know how to behave. It doesn't make assumptions like a human would as to how to respond. I'm trying to decide whether to keep this pale or whether to go a bit darker in the corners. You know, whether to just add a bit more of the violet. I think I'm going to try that. I'm just going to add more of this violet. I'm not going to go for a darker pencil. And I'm going to see if I just make this a little more intense here, because it isn't a pastel shade. I can layer it up and get it looking a little bit darker. Whether that will be enough without me needing to go for a different colour. So I don't think I really want it to be really dark. I might actually grab the dark to do the bow. Maybe. We'll see. I'll have a think. So I'm going to try and sort of fade it towards the middle by just having less layers along here. So quite a few here and less here. And then hopefully it looks like it's sort of fading into the centre a bit. Don't use this pencil very much. I tend to use the mauve, it's a bit darker, but it's quite a pretty shade. I also tend to use it interchangeably with the purple violet because they're quite similar, I think. I sometimes wonder whether Faber Castell are ever going to change any of their colours, because I know that Prismacolor has changed some of theirs over the years, but I don't know whether that's more due to the fact that their pigments aren't available, because they've just changed. Is it the lilac and lavender to orchid and yeah, something else? But I was listening to a video the other day, and there was talk they used to have colours like Deco Blue and things like that, but the person said they didn't know whether the reasons they had changed was due to lack of pigment as well, you know, not being able to get hold of the colours. And this Faber Castell, in my memory, hasn't changed any of their colours since I've been using them. I've been using them a long time, and some people have said, you know, they could get rid of a few of their yellows and put something else in, or a few of their greys, but I think they're fairly good. I think it's because I'm used to them. I don't feel that there's too many gaps in their colours, really. But I guess it depends what you're colouring, really. you might have a need for more skin tones or more fluorescence or metallics or whatever, you know. I think also people say they could get rid of the metallic, really. Right, now I'm going to do the bow. As I said, I'm going to use the mauve. No, I'm not lying. I'm going to use the manganese violet because there's a bit of more red in this. I think it will go better with the bow. That's why I picked that. The mauve is a very bluey purple, whereas this one's got pinky red in it. So I think it will just work a little bit better. So I'm going to colour it all over first. You can see it's quite pale. I'm hoping it will get dark enough when I layer it up to stand out against the background. If it doesn't, I may have to use the mauve anyway. And then I'm going to get in, sharpen it. Now I'm going to use, I think I'm going to do the knot bit first. Make it really dark and intense on the top and bottom, a little bit lighter in the middle. Same with this bit. Here needs to be really dark. And then also dark here near the, it will be scrunched up. I always do my bows with a bit of light in the centre because I think they'd be slightly curved just because of the process of the way they're tied together. There we go. And then this one, I like to do a bit of shine on ribbons, so make it a little bit lighter in the middle there, and it creates the illusion of shine. There. Oh, my stomach is rumbling. It's 10:30 in the morning. Really. Right. Just having a look. I want something. Yes, I am going to use, where is it? A pen. This is my number 700 Gellyroll, which is just glitter. Okay, and I am going to glitter over the bow, all over it. I want it to stand out. Okay. So that's my first thing. So that will create some shine. I don't know if you can even see that I've done anything, but if I tip it up you will. And then on the actual candy cane, I'm actually going to use the gold one. I've seen a candy cane done with gold on. I really liked it, and I'm going to use the gold in between here. I think gold and purple go together really nicely. So I'm not doing it down the edge, you know, it's just on the, oh, I've got a bit here, just on the sections, so between the white and red. I'll tip that back up so you can see it. There you go. So there it is. I think I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, it's showing you a few different things. I've got a woolly hat tomorrow. A wool texture. I like doing that. That'll be interesting. Okay, but for today, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a super day and happy colouring.